I wanted to show you the mental mush that makes up the mind of a law enforcement agent. I'm in the state of Oklahoma, and right now, this is Tuesday, March 7th, so this will probably upload around, I don't know, Wednesday, March 8th. But today, they are putting up for the vote for the people something called SQ 820. That's State Question 820. It's the legalization of recreational marijuana in Oklahoma and the decriminalization of marijuana, in that they will drop the sentences of anybody who was convicted on any kind of marijuana charge. But I wanted to show you the mentality of this law enforcement officer, these people who are saying, no, you need to vote no on this, because if we vote yes on this, then crime's going to increase and we're going to have all these problems and all these hooligans come into our state. Here's the breakdown of how they say it's going to benefit. State Question 820 also says the Oklahoma Tax Commission will collect 15% excise tax on recreational use, sales, and excise tax revenues, would fund the implementation of the law, with any surplus revenues going to public schools 30%, general revenue fund 30%, drug addiction treatment programs 20%, courts 10%, local governments 10%. So of course the government's going, well, if you say yes or no, either way the government's going to get their cut. State Question 820 limits certain marijuana-related conduct and sets up quantity limits, safety standards, restrictions, and penalties for violations. A local government could prohibit or restrict recreational marijuana use on its property and regulate the time, place, and manner of the operation of marijuana business within its boundaries. The local government, however, could not limit the number of or completely prohibit businesses. Also, State Question 820 would require resentencing, reversing, modifying, and expunging certain prior marijuana-related rulings and sentences unless Oklahoma proves an unreasonable risk to a person. The Oklahoma Medical Marijuana Authority would be authorized to administer and enforce State Question 820. Supporters of State Question 820 say the recreational marijuana industry would bring in millions in revenue for Oklahoma, including for schools. Of course, they're failed schools, and it's the public fool system. It's the government indoctrination camp, and the last organization that you want to collect more of your tax dollars is the public fool system. Healthcare and public safety. Projections from the Yes on State Question 820 campaign said the recreational marijuana industry would bring in more than $41 million from the 15% excise tax in the first year. The money would first fund the government agency in charge of regulating marijuana, and the rest would go toward municipalities like Oklahoma's Judicial Fund, General Funds, Public School, and nonprofit organization. Yes on State Question 820 also said that Oklahoma would gain $821 million in combined taxes over the next 4 years. So it's all about money. Come on, say yes, we can do this. We can increase the coffers of the state. The campaign, and I'm not against that. I think it should be legalized. I think it should be decriminalized. I don't think the government should poke its nose into what people want to put into their bodies. But I see this as a step in the right direction. So don't misunderstand me here. The campaign also claims, the Yes campaign also claims, that State Question 820 would create jobs and generate economic development across Oklahoma. Of course it would. How could it not? It also would offer, quote, common sense criminal justice reforms such as expungement, and would eliminate incarceration for minor marijuana possession. And of course, who would be against this? The prison industrial complex. Those against State Question 820 say legalizing recreational marijuana would lead to a rise in crime and violence, because that's what getting rid of prohibition does, right, guys? Prohibition does many, many things. Here are a couple of things it does. It increases the coffers and the power of the state. Number two, it increases overall criminality. Number three, the product that gets prohibited it's less quality and it's less safe. Remember bathtub gin? Government started poisoning alcohol, and nobody ever knew if they were going to drink the good alcohol or the bad alcohol. And why did this happen? Because the free market wasn't allowed to be free. They wanted to regulate it. And because there was all this government regulation, it made the quality go down and the safety go down, and the increase in danger of drinking that alcohol under prohibition way, way more dangerous and way, way worse. And number 4, and finally, it criminalizes innocent people who've literally done nothing wrong. Think about the insanity of prohibition for a second. 1 minute before midnight, that's 60 seconds before the law went into effect, it was okay to drink it, to buy it, to sell it, to possess it, and to transport it. And then all of a sudden, magically, because a bunch of politicians got together and said, no, we can't do that, now automatically it becomes illegal. And now you're a criminal. So it increases the power in the coffers of the state. Number 2, it makes the item prohibited more dangerous to take. It increases criminality, and it creates criminals out of innocent people. But I want to show you the mentality of law enforcement in this equation right here. Several law enforcement agencies have spoken out against making marijuana recreational. Why? Because we're going to lose our civil asset forfeiture. Do you realize if we see a certain amount of shake or marijuana on the floorboard of a car, we can actually confiscate that vehicle, and we can confiscate all the money in that vehicle, and we can confiscate that person and then feed him to the prison industrial complex, and we make a whole bunch of money because we can cycle him in through the injustice system. This is Cleveland County District Attorney Greg Mashburn, and he says, quote, law enforcement does not want that dirty money. What dirty money? They don't want the 15% excise tax from the legalization and decriminalization of marijuana, but they will take the dirty money of road piracy. They will take the dirty money of extortion fees. They will take the dirty money of civil asset forfeiture, but they won't take the dirty money of excise taxes. That's how these people think. Oh, that's dirty money because you made a plant legal. You decriminalized it just as God intended. But we'll take the money from civil asset forfeiture. We'll take the money from road piracy operations, from our fishing expeditions. Oh, we smell marijuana in your car. You mind getting out, sir? Well, whether you get out or not, we're going to send the drug dog. They don't mind taking that dirty money. And listen to what he says. This guy's got no clue about what's going on. No one is out there killing anyone over a Coors Light, but it happens on a regular basis across our state that people will kill each other over a little bit of marijuana. Let's see, nobody's killing each other over Coors Light. Why would that be, Greg Mashburn, District Attorney for Cleveland County? Why aren't they killing anybody over Coors Light? Oh, that's right, because it's not illegal. Because you can't go to jail for possessing Coors Light because it's legal to buy, sell, and transport alcohol. That's why nobody's killing anybody over Coors Light, Mashburn. Oh, I can't figure out why they're killing themselves over marijuana. Oh, that's right, because it's illegal. And when things are illegal, when they're prohibited, the state increases in power, criminal activity goes up, the product that's prohibited becomes more dangerous, and innocent people become criminalized and become wards of the state. So that is the mishmash, and he's rightly named Mashburn. He's got mash for brains, because for some reason the guy doesn't understand the evil that's foisted on the land when you start to prohibit things, when we start to tell people, oh, you know what? If you have that plant, or if you have that bottle of wine or that can of beer, well, we're going to consider you a criminal, and we're going to call that illegal, and we're going to fine you if we see you with it, and you'll probably go to jail. Mashburn doesn't see a problem with that. So that is the mentality of law enforcement. Again, this is called State Question SQ, State Question 820 in the state of Oklahoma, and I hope it passes. Well, thanks for joining me. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, share it with everybody you know. Don't forget to subscribe to my private email list through my website, highimpactflix.com, and I will see you in the next video.